Hi, my name is Amina, and in this video, I'm going to walk you through a quick UX analysis of Slack. Here is the Slack logo for those who were wondering. Alrighty, I'll focus on two usability principles and one accessibility principle, and I will use real examples for each principle from the Slack mobile app to show you exactly what I mean. And those examples are going to be from my personal experience. So, starting off with what is Slack? Slack is basically a communication app for groups, teams, and organizations. It organizes conversations into channels for different topics and also has direct messages and group chats. You can also share files, links, and updates, so it becomes that main collaboration. And the best part, it is accessible on desktop and mobile devices, as you can see on the right-hand side in the images. Moving on to the usability principles, these principles are important because they define how efficiently and comfortably people can complete tasks through design choices. And within that principle, I'm going to talk about permit easy retrieval of actions. This principle takes human mistakes into consideration, as we should because we're prone to error sometimes. And as much as possible, actions should be reversible through editing, deleting, and undoing. And this feature relieves users from anxiety since users know that errors can be undone and encourages users to explore new options. An example of that in Slack, I'm sharing on this screen, focusing on the message options menu. When we press and hold a message on Slack, it gives us clear choices like delete message, as you can see in the first image, like edit message, like you can see in the second image, and more actions, as you can see on the third image. So if we make a typo or make some kind of mistake, we can quickly edit it. If we send something in the wrong place on Slack, we can delete it without having to dig through settings and messages, which makes recovery feel fast and low stress. And I love this feature about Slack. Moving on to reduce short-term memory load. This principle is for those if we can't remember everything at once. The interface should keep important info and actions easy to access so users don't have to rely on memory to get things done. Basically, it should prevent that feeling of, oh, where did that go? So we don't have to memorize and use our short-term memory and cognitive load for that. The example for that is that while Slack supports this principle with threads, it doesn't always fully reduce memory load overall. The threads page, as you can see on the right, gathers recent replies and clearly shows where each message came from. For example, this reply is labeled as coming from the mentorship channel. However, Slack also deviates from this principle when there are too many channels, as you can see on the right. In big classes or organizations, the channel list gets long, as shown in this picture, and the user can end up relying on short-term memory, like trying to remember which channel the information was posted in. That is extra mental effort and that deviates from the principle. Now, this slide shows the issue more clearly. On the left is a message about a week 6 event that I sent to design at UCI. On the right-hand side, I search week 6 social, but Slack returns no result. When search fails like this, it doesn't reduce memory load. It forces me to remember where the message was posted and try again, which increases cognitive load. Yep, no message found. Now, accessibility principle. This principle is important because it defines guidelines that make sure that product works for people with different abilities and needs. It's super, super important. And my accessibility principle is understandable, which means that the interface should feel clear, readable, and not confusing. Users should understand what's happening and what they should expect, and without needing to guess. One key part of understandable is being predictable, meaning the interface behaves consistently so users aren't surprised, especially with navigation. This is according to the WCAG Guideline 3.2, which also highlights that navigation and interactive components should not cause unexpected changes unless a user directly initiates that change. Now, with the example, Slack supports this principle through its bottom navigation bar as shown in this picture. And the main options like home, DMs, activity, and more stay in the same place and in the same order. So even if you get lost on the app, you can always find your way back home. This kind of consistency makes the app easier to learn and faster to use, and I love it. Moving on to conclusion. We looked at Slack through two usability principles and one accessibility principle. Slack supports easy recovery with edit and delete options, but on the other hand, Slack deviates from the reducing short-term memory principle when it has too many channels and weak search filters that increase memory effort. However, I must say that Slack takes the win for accessibility principles with understandable through consistent navigation of a bottom navigation bar. Overall, I will say that Slack is an amazing app to use and I'll continue using it in the future. And to sum it up, these are the citations and sources I used for the principles, and thank you for watching.